friends, and welcome to episode 171 of The Rewind, a podcast dedicated to keeping its listeners on the cutting edge of the upcoming MMO, Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. If you've been here before, or this is your first time with us, Draq and I thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen. We know there are other weekly Pantheon podcasts you could listen to. Oh wait, no there isn't. You're stuck with us. Since there is no escape, you might as well click the like and subscribe buttons and buckle in for the next hour and a half, because this week's episode, we've got a lot to discuss. Oh, and I know what you're thinking. I wish this podcast had a Patreon that I could subscribe to and would let me get early access to the topics and let me interact with my favorite host, Dymlos, by having him trash talk my top 5 list each week. Great news! We have that! Please follow the link below and get on that top 5 action before the end of the year. Lastly, as we continue on to what seems our 11st interview on the way to early access, now slated for Friday the 13th of December, we have found some random bum on the streets of Avelia that goes by the name of Militus. He's been claiming he's been around since the beginning of Pantheon, but pulled a Rip Van Winkle for the last 5 years and conveniently woke up just in time for early access. A likely story. If you follow this podcast, and you've been around as long as Draq has, you might remember a show called Standing in Fire in which our guest hosted. Or you might have seen him more recently over on the Nathan Napalm channel being one of his 4 tanks or 2 healers in one 6-person group. The Nathan Napalm Special, as we call it. Now, on with the show!
In the dim light of the forest clearing, the adventurers gathered around their spoils, setting their packs down with a weary sigh. The scent of fresh pine lingered as Ziplocs the Darkmere rogue deftly untied the hefty sack of loot. "All right," he muttered, eyes glinting as he sifted through the shimmering coins and enchanted relics. "Let's do this fair and square. I get first pick, right?" Churro Dude the gnome summoner grinned. "Not so fast, Zip. Those elemental stones should be mine. They are gnomish after all." "Hold up," interrupted Annoying Llama, cracking his knuckles. "Everybody knows the monk takes only what they can carry, and that stuff's over there calling my name." Screech the Scar Bard hissed a low chuckle, flicking his tail. "Music's relics come to me. The enchanted loot is mine." Archbishop the Dwarf Paladin folded his arms. "I don't want any of this nonsense. I just want the blessed armor." Anton, the Shaman Glyph Keeper, raised the hand, his voice calm yet powerful. "Perhaps we can each take what suits us best, and leave some for future allies." With nods all around, the companions divided their treasures with newfound respect, their bond growing stronger with each shared coin and relic.
You're listening to Standing in Fire.
All right, here we are. Welcome, Militus. Please feel free to come off the streets of Avelia and get your warm meal that we promised you for doing this interview.
Yeah, as a fan of the podcast, I just got to say...
Oh, you're a fan?
That's maybe the worst introduction of a guest host ever. It's just like, here's this great YouTuber, here's this person, here's that person, here's this bum we found on the streets of Avelia.
Going with our Patreons, we can safely say that the more that we trash you, the more that we love you.
Oh,
That's
I appreciate
pretty much
that.
Our theme.
I'm feeling the love. Lots of love in this podcast from the very get-go. Love it.
That's how you should feel. All right, well, since you are a fan, our only fan, Draq, hey, we've got a fan.
There's one. There's one.
Yes. We have asked these questions to all 100 of our last guests. Shout out to our friend Gulo Gulo at Gulo Gulo Gaming, who has tasked us with asking the same questions to our guests over and over again to see how different their answers would be. And it's been really awesome. So this week last week we had someone that was so new to the series, but you've certainly been around. I mean, you had your own podcast for a little while there, have been on the Pantheon scene. So I'm excited to kind of hear what your answer is going to be and how starkly different they're going to be from Lotus from last week. So we'll start off right with the easy one, because all my questions are very thought provoking, whereas Drax are,
You mean basic? Your questions are basic?
Don't you compare my questions to a pumpkin spice latte, you son of a bitch. All right, Militus, what made you start creating gaming content?
Before I answer that, I'm going to answer it. I just want to say one thing in reference to your comment about me being the #1 fan. For listeners who's listened to this show for a long time and its predecessor, where it came from, there was once a time way back when I got a Discord message from a guy who's like, Militus, my guy who was going to sit down with me and break down the warrior class couldn't show. Could you do this? This is one of my first shows. I need you on here with me. And that, of course, was none other than Minus. Before there was a Pantheon Plus and the podcast and all that, I jumped on the call with him. This video footage of this somewhere, and we broke down the warrior way back in 2018.
Oh, I'm going to dig it up right now. It's going to be
there.
on the screen right now.
I promise you, it's there. If you look hard enough, you'll find it. I think it's the same reason why I play MMOs, actually, is that creating content, whether it be a podcast, YouTube video, whatever, gets me to engage with friends, right? I know that's kind of a nerdy, simple answer for you, but it just gives me an opportunity to meet like-minded people. One thing I'm an old Militus for a reason, right? One thing I'm very jealous of newer or younger people is like Discord and things like that, because, when I was younger, it was hard to find like-minded, nerdy gamer, RPG, Dungeon and Dragon loving people. Now it's very easy with all the tools that are out there. And so I find content creation is that avenue to do just that. And so I enjoy it for that reason.
Very nice. All right, another pretty open-ended question. And this, as you've heard many of our guests say, this can have many answers. So if there's something that's more like personal or whatever you want to say, there's no wrong answer here. So what, in your opinion, is the greatest moment in gaming?
Because I'm a big fan of the show, I've heard a lot of this, a lot of these answers. And so I've thought about this a long time ago, actually. I'm going to go with my personal, as you said, my personal moment, which was the greatest. And I want to say it was late 1997 or either early 1998. And it was the first time I booted up Diablo, not Diablo 2, Diablo, the original Diablo. And it was the first time that I saw the Battle.net integration in an online game, and it allowed me to chat with other human beings, invite them into my games, and play together. And it was like mind blown moment for me. I played NES and all this. I'm old enough to buy one of those when I was a kid. Okay. So I played games all the way through, but like that moment was so special because I was like, that's another human being, running with my boas on down into this dungeon to do whatever. That moment for me in gaming will never be topped because it connected me with other people for the first time.
Absolutely. I love it. And not too far off from what a lot of guests say. We don't know where we're going to meet like-minded people, and it's cool that we can do it through a video game. And so, no, I like that answer quite a bit.
And Dymlos, the thing is, man, I'm so fortunate in my life because like BoomTap, who used to work with me in Standing in Fire, and Tess, who used to work with me in Standing in Fire, and so many people, I couldn't even tell you how many people I've met in real life that I first started building that relationship in a game. And then over the years, as we talk in Discord, or back in the day, Mumble or whatever other voice server, those relationships build, and I end up like meeting them.
That's so cool.
BoomTap flew to my house, spent time here. I've traveled to Colorado, the West Coast. I've met gamers all over the country, all because of games like EverQuest and like WoW, and hopefully like Pantheon. So yeah, it gives me a lot of meaning and fulfillment in my life personally.
All right, Draq, on to your super boring yes or no, nobody cares about questions.
All right. So now that we're done with Dymlos' boring questions and boring basic questions, we can get on to the good stuff. Militus, when did you start following Pantheon? Was it like still being like, was it on a piece of paper as Brad was scrawling it out? When was that? Like 1967?
I can't make that claim. I know many in the community make that claim, and I'm very jealous or not jealous, depending on
I
how
was
you look
there
at
when
it.
the napkin was drawn.
Yeah, I didn't find Pantheon until about midway through 2018, middle of the year, and I stumbled across some videos by Basgrim and some videos by Nathan Napalm, like a very good friend Nathan, and that
Never
was
heard of him.
it. That was it. When I saw their videos and I started learning about kind of the core tenets of Pantheon, I was hooked, and I was like, yes. And then several months later, I was like pestering Boom Tap and Tess, like, we have to start a podcast about Pantheon. So yeah, about mid 2018 is when I started following it.
Nice. So, what are some of your favorite past MMOs then? What got you into MMOing?
I guess I don't want to make a long story, but I'll tell you guys a real short, funny story. Is that I missed EverQuest almost entirely, and that probably doesn't make sense if you think back to what I told you guys earlier about my greatest moment being Diablo 1, which is in 97, 98, because of course 99. EverQuest storms the world, right? But I was in this little thing called graduate program in my career, and it was beating me up, so I didn't have time to game or do anything. But I missed EverQuest. So the first like MMO I tried, of course, this is probably you get some boost from the audience, was of course WoW. OG.
Boo!
Yeah.
Boo! No, just kidding.
Yeah.
I
No,
actually
I
like
get it.
WoW quite
I
a
get
bit.
it. Yeah,
It's a good game.
We're closet WoW fans. It's okay.
Yeah.
It was a good game, is my
Yeah.
opinion. Dymlos. It was a good game back in the day.
Yeah.
And a student of mine, I was teaching a class at a little community college, and I was professing how awesome it is to be a gamer and a professor at the same time. And the student goes, "Well, what are you playing?" And I was like, "Well, nothing at the moment." And they're like, "Well, you don't play WoW? You said you're a big Diablo player." And I was like, "Well, I don't." And so I stumbled in World of Warcraft, and I just fell in love with the genre. Later, right, I learned why WoW was so great, and we'll translate that maybe in our conversations tonight about Pantheon, because a lot of in my opinion, a lot of the core parts of OG WoW that was so good, I clearly see now where they got them from, right? Is they took, in my opinion, the best parts of classic WoW came from EverQuest. Just in my kind of hindsight perspective looking back. And so that was the first one I got in, loved it, played that, Burning Crusade, and a little bit of the Wrath of the Lich King, but that's where it started kind of losing me as a gamer. And I met a lot of friends, as Dymlos and I were talking about earlier. And of course, those circles or collections of friends drug me into all kinds of games. The Secret World, Lotro, yes, Star Wars: The Old Republic, and of course, one of my personal favorites, rest in peace, WildStar. I was a huge fan of
Dude,
WildStar.
I was waiting for you to mention WildStar.
Yeah, I love that. I was a big part of the community and its development. It was love the game. Rest in peace.
You're the reason it's gone now.
Maybe. No, not me, Dymlos. I was the person. I'm a psychologist by trade, and so I was the person on the side going, "Paths are amazing." Like, because I'd read the literature stuff, and I'm like, yes, we need to Bartle. We need to embrace the science and the nerd. We need to have pathways for killers and pathways for explorers and pathways for this. And what they did is they just listened to the raid crew and not so much the nerdy crew like me, and the game went in the wrong direction. But in any case, WildStar played that a long time, and as of late, more so dipping my toes back into old school World of Warcraft and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very cool.
So why, after watching Nathan and seeing the Pantheon stuff, what drew you into Pantheon? What was different about Pantheon than other games that like sucked you in so hard?
My answer is going to surprise you, I think. I don't know you would guess it in a million years. You ready for this?
Please.
Downtime.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a
Downtime.
good answer.
It's such a boring answer, but it was hearing, as a guy who missed EverQuest, that was foreign to me as an MMO gamer who started a WoW. Like the whole notion of camping, sitting there in a spot and pulling. I was like, what are they talking about? But then I just heard the reverence people would speak about how much fun they had. And as I'm watching the videos and I'm hearing some of the core tenets that Brad had envisioned for the game, things like classes having identity and synergy and downtime and strategic gameplay. That's the word that really got me to, was like strategically playing the game. I started hearing this. I'm like, hold on a second. That's what I'm always lamenting to people about with the parts I loved about classic WoW. Not that there was a tremendous downtime, but there was some downtime where we would stop, we would talk, we would drink, we would strategize, and then we would go into our polar attempt. And that's kind of gone now. Even in classic WoW, the reboot is gone. It's just run as fast as you can, go.
Get through everything.
Yeah, and when Nathan
EQ2's the same way, it drives me nuts.
Yeah,
At least in the group stuff, not the rating, but in the group stuff, it's pretty miserable.
But I didn't hear that when I heard Nathan talk. I didn't hear that when I heard Basgrim talk. And I started thinking about all those conversations I had early on when people would tell me, because EverQuest had kind of it's always been alive and around, no doubt. But like WoW in 2006 and 2007 was king. Like it was just
For sure.
It was ubiquitous in our culture at that point. But I would hear stories of downtime and hear stories of people camping, hear stories of like hard CC and things like that. I'm like, hold on, I love all those things. Why can't there be a game like that? And then when I found the videos, I'm like, this is the game. This is the game I've been waiting for.
Now, if you watched, 4 years ago, our Pantheon Dungeon group draft, you know the answer to this question. But we're going to tell the audience anyway. Militus, what is your race class combination and why?
Okay, I will tell you what it was back then.
Changed! It has changed!
There has been a shift in the Militus.
No!
Yeah.
Well, but hold on. In fairness,
People change, Draq. Get over it.
No, they don't. They are one thing, and they are that forever, and that is the end.
Listen. I nearly came for you. Actually, you nearly had me lured into Wizard. Like I played it. It was a lot of fun. But actually, through the as a champion, I've been able to play a little bit as of late, and I've been trying all the classes. And it's going to be a Dark Myr monk.
Oh,
very nice.
That's very interesting.
Not a healer like you thought it was going to be.
I mean, you were cleric, died in the wool to the end.
I really was.
Although cleric is fun.
No, it is. It is fun. It is fun. But to me, you heal for so many years. It's kind of refreshing to do something different, And so I've really enjoyed the monk so far. Very curious. The same thing I'm nervous about the monk about makes me super curious. And it comes back to our earlier conversation. And that is, I thought, hold on. The one part of Pantheon I love the most is the parts I never got to feel in EverQuest, right? So I'm like, hold on. Camping and pulling were a very fundamental aspect of that kind of gameplay. I want to inject myself right into that role. So I'm like, that's my class. Like monks are with Feign Death and stuff are great pullers. And so I'm nervous about it because that means you actually have to know what the hell you're doing. Like you have to know what mobs to pull. You got to know like the dungeon layout. You got to know some of that stuff. So I'm nervous about it, but also very excited.
I think it's going to be a lot more leeway. The problem with EverQuest right now is, and Dymlos will back me up on this, but the problem with EverQuest right now is that everybody knows every single thing about EverQuest, like down to the lines of code. And so if you don't know every pull, every situation in every dungeon all the time, you're just ruled ridiculous and that you shouldn't have made a monk. And so that's the problem with EQ right now. And so I'm excited to have a game where nobody knows what to do and we just experiment and try things, right? That's going to be so much fun to have pullers just try crap.
I mean, that's what made EverQuest great.
Yeah.
That's why we have such nostalgia for it.
And that's why Pantheon's going to be great as well. And I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to being in those same niche situations where we all learn together. And there's going to be, no doubt, there's going to be wipes. I've already caused a couple, maybe. But by the way, Joppa, please, if you listen to this, please, for the love of God.
He doesn't.
Well, if I'm praying he does right now, Joppa. Please give monks feigned death sooner than 18, because if you want us to be great pullers and you want us to fulfill that role, why wouldn't you give it to us so late, right?
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
that would be like giving a tank taunt at 18. That makes no sense, right? So
Makes no sense.
give monks earlier feigned death, maybe level 6 or something.
Along the way, I'm sure you've had many fun, cool stories. So what is your favorite MMORPG story?
So you're both expecting some amazing boss to go
Yes.
down,
Yes,
or you're
absolutely.
expecting some
This
shiny
is not the
loot.
greatest MMORPG story of all time.
If you weren't
Then-
world first on something, you're out.
I'm going to horribly disappoint you, but the best memory I ever had in an MMO was in old World of Warcraft. And if you've ever played that game, you know that around level 20, an alliance that is, around level 23-ish,
For the Horde.
24. Oh, for the Horde. We got a Horde. I'm an alliance player, sorry. But I was playing a Night Elf. Hunter, of course, because that's what everyone
Yeah,
plays.
if you
when they
play an
first
elf,
start
it's
playing.
a hunter.
Yeah.
You don't play
so-
anything else to be an elf.
so I'm over in Ashenvale, and I'm sure you guys know exactly where I'm talking about. I'm over in Ashenvale, and my student I was mentioning earlier, the really good guy that convinced me to play on a PvP server. He's
Mm.
like, you should, go up into Ashenvale. So I go up in Ashenvale, and I'm questing. Everything's great. I'm picking flowers. I'm killing boars. All that good stuff. And here comes this orc hunter into town. And he just starts laying waste to everyone. Like all the lobbies, he's killing everyone. And we all retreat into the inn. And so at first it's 2 or 3 of us. Then it turns into 5, 6. Then it turns into 8, 9, 10. Before you know it, we have like nearly 20 people all in the inn because the innkeepers were pretty high level. And, he wasn't able to like kill everything, all the NPCs. So we're huddled in the inn. And Militus, being the great leader that I am, and the seasoned gamer, all of 6 weeks I've been playing the game, proclaimed in chat to this crowd, guys, we can take him. If we all work together, we can kill this orc. Now he's level 60 in full raid gear. We're level 21, 22, 23. So I somehow convinced them of this. We storm out of the inn, past the mailbox. If you played WoW, you know what I'm talking about. We take no more than 4 steps out of the inn, past the mailbox, and he proceeds to murder every single one of us. All of our and WoW, the way the mechanics work is that I didn't know this being new to the game. You get a higher mischance, right? The higher the level. So we had a level 60 in full raid gear, and we're just missing every single time we try to hit this person, and we all are murdered. And at the end of it, they're like, "Yeah, great job, Militus, with your leading us against this guy." And I'll never forget that. It's one of my funniest and dumbest moments in MMOs. But like one that I will take to my grave.
All right, back to my awesome questions because I'm bored to tears by Draq's lame-o questions. But this is actually my favorite question that I ask. If you were stuck on a desert island with one game for the rest of your life, no internet, what would it be?
Hands down, no question. I've listened to you guys talk about this. Minecraft.
Really?
100%. Yes.
Minecraft.
Yes.
Didn't Redbeard Flynn say this too?
Can I
can't
boo
remember
this
now.
one?
Yeah.
Listen,
Minecraft seems so
it's
boring.
got to be something because you're going to go crazy. So it's got to be something where you can express creative endeavors. So like as fun as game loops are and MMOs, they are just that. They are loops. And so I would have to pick a game where I could have creative expression like Minecraft.
All right. So the couple next questions are made so people get to know you a little bit. We'd like it if you were able to use our platform to kind of promote yourself a little bit. That's the whole point of this, right? So if you could just describe something about yourself that your community might not know about you.
what a lot of people probably don't know about me, that in real life, I actually sort of get to conduct research with video games. That might surprise a lot of people. Like, I have a lab and I hook people up to physiological measures like facial muscle tone and breathing, heart rate, skin conductance, galvanic skin response, a bunch of nerdy terms you guys probably don't want to hear about. And then I have them play games, and I measure something called telepresence, which is how, if you feel that you're in the game, if you feel the avatar represents you, we in psychologists term that telepresence, or presence for short. It's kind of the reason why when you guys watch scary movies, you ever notice that you cover your eyes? Have you ever stopped and asked yourself why you do that? Actually, because you're not there. So
Right.
why are you covering your eyes? This is because you feel present in the narrative of the story and then the scene that's being demonstrated. So in real life, I kind of get to do that for fun, which will probably
Nice.
shock a lot of people.
All right, last question, I promise. Describe to the people what kind of content you make if no one has ever seen your videos before.
Yeah, so you would see me in like an 80s metal band wig, which is funny because I have no hair at all. And if you looked at any of the old Pantheon Standing in Fire podcast that we did, you would see me acting crazy and silly and stupid. I like making content that makes people relax, laugh, have a good time. And I'm mainly done it with podcasts over the years, but breaking news
Oh, here we go.
tonight.
Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news.
I have all of 2 subscribers thanks to Draq now. But
I am subscribed to this channel.
Thank you. I've started a YouTube channel, and I'm getting ready to release my first ever video. And it's definitely going to come out before early access starts. Thanksgiving might kind of get in the way of it coming sooner rather than later, but the title of it is Why Pantheon, Why Now? Perspectives Matter. And I'm going to lay out some arguments as to why I think Pantheon is a great game for people that are similar from my perspective, that maybe missed the boat with EverQuest. While I love Bascom's content, I love Nathan, I love you guys, sometimes I can't relate, right? Because you guys will be talking about a perspective you had from EverQuest. I'm like, damn, I wish I had that perspective. It makes me jealous. And so what this video is going to kind of do, it's going to kind of showcase some points or some arguments for why I think Pantheon is a great game for someone who has a slightly different perspective, who might have started with WoW Classic as their first MMO, and point out some analogies and some similarities between them that I felt in my recent playtesting with Pantheon, that I think will really speak to those people who have that same perspective.
There's a ton of those people, right? Like there were only 300,000 people that subscribed to EverQuest, and then before WoW was in the millions. So there are a majority of people like you than like us. So it definitely has its place, no doubt.
This week in Visionary Realms News and Notes.
All right. We have an early access release trailer. Have you guys watched this video?
Yeah, maybe 6 times today I've watched it.
Yeah, just 6 times. You've been watching it over and over and over again.
Looking for clues. Looking for
clues.
Yeah.
There's no
I thought
clues. It's all spelled out. It's all very well done.
I thought it was pretty well done. I thought overall, sometimes VR and their video production is kind of but this I thought was really good.
This isn't a Q&A, Draq. It's not the just shoot from the hip Chris Rowan style. This is well thought out, well laid out, looked over 100 times.
Yeah, obviously very well produced. They didn't want to miss on this one, and they didn't. I thought it was good.
Yeah, you need something to put on Steam, and this was it, so it's going to be good.
We got lots of good information on this video. A lot of the stuff we already knew. We're going to have the classes. We're going to have the races. One thing that's a little concerning is as of today, we only have 3 of the 6 giant zones. So that's a little concerning considering we're 3 weeks away from the servers going down and basically a month away from EA starting. But the good news is that we have ogres and dwarves. They're in as of yesterday. Ogres and dwarves are in, and also the very first pieces of character customization, which is drastically and very much needed. It's a little rough at the moment, but it's in. Also, for information, we got December 13th. That's our day, and that is going to launch on Steam. Early access Steam, December 13th. The price is going to be $39.99. So all you people that thought it was going to be $25, wah, wah, wah.
I think it was close.
It was close.
Kind of close.
I think $40 is reasonable.
I mean, if you're hearing this now, buy the pledge. Get the $50 pledge and get 2 copies of the game with the buddy code.
And then
Now
sell
is the
the other
time.
one for $30. And then
There you go. Now, don't do that because you have to give you a bunch of personal information
That's
with
all
that buddy
true.
code. So
that's all true.
definitely don't do that. But if you and your significant other or you and your buddy know you're going to play this, buy it now. Buy it now. You'll just plug it into Steam and roll. And you might even get to play early. Like if you buy it now, you'll certainly be able
if you buy
to
it now, you're
play
in.
a couple weeks before and then get to see all the drastic changes that happen between server shutdown and when it pops back up on Friday the 13th. Woo!
Yeah, I can't believe they did that. Did you guys have any other thoughts, any other information that you got out of the trailer or anything else you'd like to say?
I was really impressed with the video. I thought the messaging was spot on. As much as I love hearing Joppa talk, and I do, like I love that guy is super articulate, and I could listen to him talk forever. A lot of people won't, right? And that video, the messaging was on point. It was just show gameplay, give facts in the video, move on. Like it wasn't telling you, it was showing you and giving facts. And I think so the messaging was perfect and spot on. I do worry though,
As one should.
about one thing. I do worry about this. A lot of times on Steam and whatever platform you're buying from, I don't know, people just have a hard time reading the fine print, right?
Oh yeah.
And while I do like the messaging, and it was clear to me as a Pantheon fan, I do worry a little bit that someone won't read the fine print and they'll go into early access assuming something's there that clearly is stated in the fine print that it's not. Does that make sense?
100%. You are preaching to the choir there. We have been yelling this from the rooftops for a long time.
So I worry about that a little bit, but I do love the idea of it going to Steam, generating revenue. If it's for the health of the game, it's going to help the game grow. I think it's a good move.
Speaking of Steam, they have a Steam page.
Steam page?
Yep. Link in the description below. Now, if the video is good, I think the Steam page is excellent. A lot of thought and time was put into this Steam page. So you need to go, you need to wishlist this thing, you need to follow it. The more people that they get to wishlist and follow this on Steam, the better it's going to be. They track those numbers, and they're going to be able to take that to investors. And so to further Pantheon. So everybody needs to go get onto Steam, because we're all going to Steam at some point, and wishlist it and follow it, just to help them out. And also just look at the page. There's a lot. I mean, you're not going to see anything new, obviously, but I think the Steam page is really, really well done.
Hey, Joppa, you get me so excited about classes and abilities. When you say you're someone, I'll come and friends for me. Hey, Joppa, I hoped your words were pure gold. My broken heart is my fault, so now I carry around an extra shaker of salt. Hey, Joppa.
9.5 hours of Joppa streaming this week. He is back, and he is better than ever.
Woo!
Yeah, he's talking EA. He's talking lots of new graphics. I actually have a lot of pictures to show this week of just new stuff that's in development. So
Draq, what I hope you do is I hope that you put every picture all on the screen at one time, and when all the people that are watching it on their phone won't be able to see anything. So
Well, quit watching on your phone and get to a computer already.
who's listening to this on their computer? They're just gonna sit down on Saturday at noon
Yes.
Eastern
Yes.
and just hang out at their computer. No, I'm busy cooking lunch. I'm busy.
Oh my god!
I watch this thing on my
Take
phone.
time out of your day. Stop
way.
what you're doing
Not
and
a
watch
chance.
the rewind.
You have no idea how many battles of Pokemon Pocket that I have to be playing while the rewind is going.
That's
So
awful.
take the clips of each picture while this thing is going. This is me giving you vamp time to put each picture up. Stop being lazy. Stop being a lazy host. I'm calling you out, lazy host. Clip them up and cycle them through. There. For you people, for all one fan Militus, I have saved you.
And I've already seen them all tonight. So you're at a loss next week. I'm sorry.
These are all
right.
very cool. You should be showing them,
Well-
and each deserves its own glory. Just do it.
Fine,
Yeah.
I'll make it happen.
Thank you.
In the meantime, what do you guys think of some of the new mobs that just kind of being showed off?
I love reimagining of different animals, like putting animals together, maybe making additions to animals. This is all very cool stuff. And so, yeah, very excited to see all this in game. Of course, all these pictures are lame compared to what they're going to look in the game. So very excited for that.
Yeah, and a lot of diversity, right?
Yeah.
I feel like when a game has diverse mobs like this, it just adds to the immersion. And these are so good, so cool. I'm going to agree with Dymlos here. The models, and when you're actually in the game, I've been far more impressed when I see them in game versus these static 2D images that are on the website and in various streams. So do yourself a favor. Definitely get into early access so you can see some of this whenever it does make it to the game. I don't know that these will be in during EA, but they're probably going to come in shortly after.
Yeah, they will, because this is all Silent Plain stuff.
Oh,
so
nice.
these are in. As soon as we'll see these before early access drops, all these mobs. Absolutely. Also, we got a shot of Wild's End, which we haven't seen a lot of yet. Joppa was roaming around a little bit, and he went into Sorhireth. That is the Halfling city. So some really cool stuff there. I really am excited for anything that's not thrown fast to do. So where are you guys at with the Halfling city?
I know there was some talk about maybe not having starting cities for each race, but I really feel like it's a must. Like I need the Darkmoor version of Sorhireth. Like it just needs to happen. Every place needs to start in their own place.
Yeah, else you're going to have a bunch of jealous players, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
it
right.
does look beautiful.
They got a slummet in New Kelethin that is the Halfling city. That's going to be super sad for them.
Yeah, that's poor dwarfs. You'll get your city someday.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. I'm very new to Throne Fast, and so I'm still actually learning and exploring some of it, and I've been super impressed. So if this is analogous or better, I am like super pumped. Like I can't wait to get over into these starting areas and see the similarities and also the differences. I think they will have similar like starting points, questing points, where you pick up your scrolls, things like that. I'm assuming that's going to feel familiar, but then the zone itself and the wildlife and the diversity should be a breath of fresh air.
Not only that, we're in bonus land. We got ogres, we got dwarves. That patch dropped yesterday, and it is in the game. Ogres and dwarves, they're kind of using similar models, so that's kind of why they dropped at the same time. But they look pretty good. What do you guys think about ogres and dwarves? And would you ever play one?
I would definitely play a dwarf. I'm not super into large races. It's I don't like to tower above the mob. I want to either be at eye level or just below. The dwarves look good. The dwarves do not look good without a beard. Let's just say that. The elephant in the room. They look like goblins without their beards on. So definitely don't be a beardless dwarf or you'll look real weird. No, I think the dwarfs look really good. The ogres look great. Even if I don't ever play an ogre, they certainly, Bronson did a really good job on these. And
I would probably not ever play an ogre. They look cool, but I probably wouldn't play one. The dwarf does, as Draq alluded to earlier, that was my original race class combo, was a dwarf cleric. And so that's still kind of swirling around in the back of the brain a little bit. And seeing these models, I'm not going to lie, does give me a little excitement, maybe to think about that race class combo again. I think they look amazing, both of them, except I'm going to disagree with the people that were arguing that they're one and the same, because clearly the dwarf does not skip core day and he has better nutrition. He's jacked. I mean, the guy's jacked.
He's totally
jacked. Ogre is like watch a lot of football, sitting on the lazy boy a little too much, and like there's
a little definition. Like the female model definitely has some definition to the stomach area, but yeah, you're right. The ogre is a little.
He's
fatty.
got dad bod vibes.
Yeah, and as he should. Like ogres should be that way. But that's what my whole point is. Like there is some distinction, I think, between the models as I look at them. So yeah, amazing.
I agree.
would play the dwarf, but not. Sorry, you just can't convince Militus to be an ogre. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Crest and water is in the game.
Woo!
So you still can't swim yet, but it's coming, quote, soon. Which I think that's reasonable. I think that the new water looks amazing and that the swimming will be cool. And Joppa said, quote, be careful swimming at night. So I think that is awesome.
Absolutely, you got to have that in a game. The fear, even when we were all swimming through Lake Wrath. I know you didn't, Militus. Sorry to bring up another EQ
pour
reference.
more salt in the wound. I appreciate that.
Yeah. We all thought there was stuff in there. Turns out there was not a single thing in there. There were some deep water goblins way down that no one would ever get to because everyone's swimming skills sucked. But yeah, we all were like, oh, EQ Nessie's in this thing. It's coming at us. I'm excited for that. And another reason to be a Dark Mer is so you can swim and see in the water better. Now, I'm glad that the water's in and we're going to get this swimming. And I hope that the move from Crest to Unity 6 is easy conversion. I'm glad that we're using this as a stopgap, but I hope that the Unity water is real slick and is a lot better.
Cool. I guess you can drown as well. Have you guys tested this yet, or
not yet?
No,
okay.
You can't. So swimming and going under the water is not in yet. They still have it. You walk on the water currently.
Okay, I just saw him in his stream. He did go under the water.
Yes,
but that was probably on the test server.
That's in his dev build. Yep. But it's coming, and according to Joppa, within the next 1 or 2 patches. So it's going to be in for early access. But I just realized that you're both going to be Darkmer.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's the problem here is I'm surrounded by fish sticks everywhere. And you guys are super excited for water. So there you go.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
As we should be.
Definitely.
Y'all be killing it, so we be spilling it. Back again is your boy, Benonai, with another incredible community spotlight. Now this one's different, y'all. It's not about the community, it is to our community. If you ain't heard the news on the EA start date and Steam store purchase, then you are like most other listeners of this show and only watch the community spotlight. With EA literally 1 month away, it is already queued up on Steam for sale and downloading on the drop date. Now that means that our community is now growing. Over the past year, there has been a marriage of sorts, something akin to the Brady Bunch. The VIPs have long had their own channel in the official Discord where they lord over everyone like the elves they are. And then champions were brought into testing during the seasons, and the two camps became one. Along came supporters here for the game and doubled the community size. And since then, the increase in pledges from the first season until now has been gangbusters. We are not privy to the actual numbers, but the anecdotal evidence is strong. And this has brought in newcomers that needed to learn the ropes, get caught up on the state of the game, and how to help the team continue to squash bugs and fill out the content we crave. And the community has done a phenomenal job of accepting these folks. And now, the Steam community is part of the conversation for Pantheon. It was inevitable. It was scary, but it is here. All of the worries and fears about what others will say about the game we have nurtured and supported for so many years is now open to the harsh criticisms of the outside world. But let not your heart be troubled, gang. This is Pantheon Community, the best game community most of us have ever been part of. So now is the time to take your story, your likes, your experiences, and share them with the sometimes dark world of online game community forums. As of the 13th of November, there are 20 active topics already on Steam Community under Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. We are to be considerate, patient, and honest with those having messages on the boards. But we should also be leading the way, posting the goodness of this game as we know it, pointing to the vision of what isn't in the game yet, explaining the reasons for the systems that are in game, and most importantly, showing the love and passion we have for this project. We should be helping those that need it, answering questions factually for those that have them, and listening to those that are having issues and helping them through them. We should be adding screenshots and videos to the Steam community boards. It is so important that we get ahead of the curve in this forums. If trolls dominate the discussion, that will be what the public at large sees. A game that more people hate than love. We need to post testimonials on the boards en masse and drown out whatever spiteful posts dare to unfairly ruin the rep of our game. Man up, throw on some armor, and go to battle for Pantheon. Let everyone see what we all believe in. That community matters. Viva Racha, baby, I'm out.
From the SGL Action News Desk, this is MMO News, featuring your anchors, Draq and Dymlos.
This just came out today as of this recording, and I had to list it because though I don't follow Asmongold or watch his content, sometimes things come to me like other streamers doing Asmongold content, which is what this was. And then eventually I found this little reaction video that came out as well. This is so funny, and I'm so glad that the Ashes of Creation people are showing their true colors. It's like, and Militus, you'll like this reference. Everyone that came out of Baron's chat is now playing Ashes of Creation.
Yeah, no doubt.
And no doubt. And so all the Baron's people either hate Asmongold, think it's hilarious, which Asmongold thinks is funny too. Like him getting ganked all the time, he actually finds funny. Like people don't really think like that way. And that's why Asmongold is such a different, unique personality on the internet, because he doesn't think like other people think. And so he's very dark and kind of sadistic a little bit. And, you know, if you ever watch like his real talk videos where he's not playing his Asmongold character and he's just talking about his life, or this is all very funny to him. But this is what fears me most about PvP games in general, then tying into Draq and I's favorite game to talk about currently, which is Stars Reach. Like this all ties together. Like go watch a little bit of the video below. It doesn't take long. You can see it in the first minute, him just getting, you know, gank boxed as they call it. This is the same thing that fears me about Stars Reach. When you open a world up, and if you haven't watched the video to Stars Reach, it looks great. They dropped a new trailer, and that's also in the description below. But I'm so fearful if you let humanity do whatever they want in these games, they're just going to ruin it. They have clearly ruined Asmongold's time in Ashes of Creation so far, because he won't be able to stream it without getting stream sniped. They'll pinpoint where he's at on a stream and then go gank him. But then also when you open up worlds to do whatever you want to kill animals that make the ecosystem worse or to pollute whatever, humanity's going to do it. Humans are bad, okay? They're just bad. And so it makes me very nervous to watch games like Ashes of Creation, because that's what my opinion is going to be about them. And Asmongold states that if you watch the video for any length of time, he states when you allow gamers to PvP without consent, then there's a ceiling to your game. Like, you will never be able to get to the millions and millions of subscribers that WoW got to, because a lot of gamers are sometimes fine with PvP, but want consent with that rather than just being able to gank. So this is what scares me about all these upcoming games. If you're going to open it up to everybody and everything to do anything that they want to, I don't want to play that game. Thoughts?
We just can't have nice things.
It's true.
That's what it all boils down to. There's just too much nonsense. There's too much going on, and we just can't have it.
I want to respond, but I'm afraid Draq is going to yell at me for overanalyzing. So I'm nervous.
Oh, I definitely am. Like, you just might as well get it out the way.
Yeah. I'll delete Draq if it is.
Whoa.
So my thought is, I want to put a quote out by a famous psychologist. His name is Philip Zimbardo. And maybe you guys remember reading about him if you took like an intro psych class.
Draq doesn't read.
He did the famous Stanford prison study. Does that ring a bell with you guys? Where he had,
I was just reading that last week,
and
I
the
thought
Stanford
to myself,
study.
the
of course,
study.
I definitely know what that
It was
was.
right there. It was just sitting on my coffee table, and I was like, you know what? I should just pick that up.
I was on the toilet the other day and just.
Any case, he has a saying that there are no bad apples, there are bad systems. And in terms of like, there's a bad apple in the barrel and they're going to ruin everything, and no, it's bad systems. So
that sounds like Dymlos' theme for his whole life.
So I would agree with Asmongold's take, actually, in that video. If you watch it far enough, he starts arguing that, look, if you design the systems of your game this way, you're going to limit, as Dymlos mentioned, the kind of potential that your game can ever have. Not to say that that's an inherently bad design choice, but if your goals are to have a big game, it's probably a bad design choice, because you're going to like limit its potential 100%.
So great news for Ashes of Creation. If you're pledging to that game, just know that your game currently has a ceiling, and its success is based on how many people will put up with Gankbox. Good job, Ashes of Creation. Well done.
That was the number one thing that worried me when Ashes was first announced years ago, was that very thing. It was like PvP was like a very big part of it. And I was like,
It's scary. And I'm going to take a moment to invite Asmongold to test Pantheon in December. And maybe no one's going to gank you there, Asmongold. Come play with me. I will be your tank. Although I think he likes to tank. I don't know what he usually plays. So I'll roll a healer. I'll make a cleric for you, Asmongold, and we can roll together. Just let me know. You can message me anytime.
You can do whatever you want, Asmongold. We don't care.
Yeah. If you want to hate on Pantheon but still play it, that's fine. We understand. You've got money to make on the YouTubes and the Twitches. So do what you need to do. But, if you need a cleric, let me know. On to the next thing. And this is perfect. I found this. This came across my news feed. It's a story from our friends at Massively OP. It just is. Sometimes they just decide to do like little editorial pieces, which is great. They want to speak their minds a bit. And this week they took on, how often do alts become your mains? And this hit for me, and I know it's going to hit for you guys too, because when I started on Thornblade, I started out as a cleric. I was going to be a cleric main because I really enjoy that. I like healing. They're the best healers. But eventually I made a ranger alt and ditched the cleric altogether and only played the ranger for the other 2.5 years of that game that I played over on Thornblade. So it's certainly something. Our talk last week when Warriors came out, or when we were talking about banners that were going to come in, and I thought that was cool. It may change from Paladin to Warrior. I don't know. So for me, although I like to pick something and stick with it, it just becomes increasingly harder and harder when, new cool stuff comes out. I want to try the new cool stuff, and it may change my mind. I love Paladin. I really enjoy playing a Paladin on EverQuest 2, and I've enjoyed playing it in our testing with Pantheon. But man, if these banners come out and they're as cool as Shaman Totem from WoW, then I'm in for changing. So Militus, you just talked about how you are changing your main in the interview. So, how often do you how often do your alts become your mains?
I'm going to say it depends on the game and the kind of systems in the game. And I think with Pantheon specifically, you're going to not see me do that as often as WoW or other games because the systems in the game don't promote hot swapping, as I'll call it. Like, in Pantheon, you can really live out the fantasy of your class. Like to be a paladin, to be a warrior of the light, a tank, and lay on hands and all that stuff. You can do it without a DPS meter telling you that you suck. And you're not the best, and you're not the best damage tank, and you're not the best mitigation tank, and that your actions per second are down compared to the other. Like you can still live that fantasy out, right? And so for me, I don't think you're going to see me swap as often. I'll have an alt and I'll play it, but I just don't think the systems are in Pantheon to promote swapping that often. So I'm going to say I'm probably going to play a main for the most part. I mean, I won't be like Draq, like never leaves his beloved wizard. But
I'm about to get there. We're about to get there.
But I don't think it will be as prevalent for me as other MMOs that are designed quite differently.
Draq.
All right, so let me get this straight. Like,
here we go.
All your friends, your entire guild, everyone has created this superhuman push to get you and your main the best gear. And we are relying on you to show up every week to help the guild move forward. We're relying on you to help our group move forward, or as Dymlos would call it, the fellowship to move forward. We're gearing you up. We're making sacrifices. Often I'm making sacrifices for myself so your character can get better gear and you can be more equipped to handle whatever this game has to throw at you. And we are moving down the road and we are doing it together. And I'm making sacrifices and everyone else is making sacrifices. And that's what makes MMOs beautiful. Right up to the point where you decide, screw all that, screw all my sacrifices, screw everyone else's sacrifices. I'm just going to make a new character. And then I'm going to demand that I get all gear. You have to gear me up for that.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to show up at raids and I'm going to play a class that somebody else has been playing since the beginning and has worked. And then I'm going to take their gear too. And you know what? I'm just going to be completely selfish and completely narcissistic. And that's how I'm going to roll.
It's like you just described the last 20 years of our lives together, Draq.
No, I know. I just maybe I just had to get that out. Maybe I just
do you feel better?
This moment.
Do we need to get Redbeard Flynn?
We might.
So Draq, when you say all that, how does it make you feel?
Please, Militus, please examine, please unpack all of that.
You just went full psychoanalysis.
But you know what? I so agree with you. Again, I was talking about that, how systems in certain games promote that.
Yeah.
You're right, man. It feels so bad when you're in a team, a raid team. And I'm projecting here a little bit recently because in my sod guild, this has happened. And man, does it create drama because you're right. Like you're moving together as a team, everything's fine. And someone gets lucky with the RNG and they get the gear and they're like, oh, I'm geared out. Time for the alt to come in the raid. And then everyone's like, really? You're going to make our clear slower. We might not be able to get through this boss simply because you want to gear your alt. Yeah, it's a big deal breaker for a lot of people.
Yeah. Because you're
Draq, I'm not saying that I'm going to switch after I've chosen. Like if EA starts and I choose Paladin, I will have made my decision.
No, I think it's fair. I think that everything up to game day launch is fair game. Let me be super clear. I know we give the guests a hard time about like if you announce it on the rewind, then that's it forever. But that's not really true. The truth is if day one and we're going 40 hours no sleep, you better freaking pick your character.
Yeah. Don't worry.
All right.
Because I'm not going 40 hours straight with you. And then all of a sudden, like day 3, you're like, hey, you know what? I don't really like that character. I'm going to start over. Would you guys mind power leveling me? No, I'm not doing it.
The
like,
answer is
just get
definitely
out.
no. No, totally get that. But if we hit 50, and I want to make a warrior and I get him to 50 on my own and I feel like switching, then that could happen. But yeah.
But
I'll be
Dymlos, the difference would be, I mean, when you say that, I've learned this in my limited time playing Pantheon. It's one of the reasons I love it. You said on your own. I say good luck with all of that because like I've been playing with Nathan, as you guys were talking about earlier. We play Thursday nights. Go check it out. A quick plug for Nathan. He streams Pantheon Thursday night.
Yeah, plug to Nathan. We love Nathan Napalm.
He's great. Nathan's great. And I've been playing monk.
So are you one of the 4 tanks or the 2 healers?
I'm a monk, so I pull
kind of a tank
without feint death.
You have broken the veil of Nathan Napalm's group.
No. He's still half tank, so it still counts.
Half tank for sure.
A little more DPS tank.
But like when I play with them on Thursday, and this is such a cool observation, Dymlos, you'll love this. Draq,
Well, I am a huge Nathan fan, so I've probably had the same opinion.
But like, I would play with them Thursday, and my experience bar is going. It was just going up, 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 up. We're in the Goblin Caves. We're going over the spiders. My experience just going up, 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 up. Then he's like, "Hey, I'm not going to play again until next Thursday because Nathan does a lot of different content. But Militus needs his time. I need my Pantheon, right?
Yeah.
So I jump in solo, and I kill, and I kill, and I kill, and I see the little experience bar like move what looks like a millimeter, and I'm like, oh." And that's when you say you do it on your own, I'm like, good luck with that because that's a lot of time. But also, isn't that kind of cool because it means that like when we don't play with each other and we want to jump in game, we won't blow each other out of our leveling brackets either.
That's
which is
important.
awesome. Yeah.
And I don't mind pugging it up, especially as the tank. As long as I find a decent healer, the other 4 people don't matter. It's literally
whoa.
Tanks are they love you. You're always going to find a group.
And usually if you're a decent enough tank and you're controlling the pulls or whatever the case may be, is I make it so that we don't die. It's fine. It doesn't bother me any. So happy to pug, just don't like to do it. I don't like the time it takes to get the group together. Like I don't have 2 hours. I don't want to just sit there LFG looking for deeps.
We'll take a wizard.
Yeah, except for unless your name is Draq, then we'll take a wizard.
All right, go.
I'm stacking still.
Oh my heck.
Here,
can you hear this?
Yes.
It's in my fucking nightmares, Draq. And last but not least, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the Scuffed Game Awards, or as we like to call them, a beardy.
The Beardies.
The Beardies. Which is our good friend Redbeard Flynn, who's been a co-host twice on the show already since we've taken over. He runs a yearly award show that the masses can vote for. So,
because he's a big deal.
He is a big deal. And so we want to take his money. So what we need everybody to do...
Mostly we want to win. We want to win.
We're basically going to throw down against Lotu. It's us, Lotu, RBF's friend BB, which, collusion. I'm already calling collusion. Not fair at all.
On the
I don't care if he's got 350 followers. This is collusion. Anyway, if you are listening to this podcast, we need you to click on the scuffedgamingawards.com link below and vote for us. Because 1, we need Redbeard's money. And 2, we want to beat Lotu. We can't let some new girl on the block who just happens to be the hottest thing in Pantheon since, I don't know, minus... come into our area, take over our award, and win it out from underneath us.
It's gonna be.
We're totally losing. We have no chance. But we would appreciate it if we came in second to Lotu.
Let's at least not have it be embarrassing.
Can we not be third to a person that has 350 followers?
Militus, let's get this out of the way. Militus, would you vote for us on the Scuff Game Awards?
I'm clicking on it as we speak.
Oh,
Nice.
thank
Santa
you,
Cruz
one
Live.
fan. Thank you, one fan.
I feel the movement
But
is happening right
but
now.
Lotu's clearly my second.
Yeah, I know. I mean, she's my number one. I'm not voting for us. I'm voting for
Whoa,
Lotus. So.
no! Vote early and vote often. That's what I say.
And vote Draq.
Vote Draq.
5,
Draq, I'm so disappointed in you.
4,
Luckily, every week I dominate this list and just destroy Dymlos.
3,
I thought you would just tuck your head between,
No
your butt
way!
cheeks.
No, my list is
And
amazing.
It's not at all.
2,
Oh, already your list is the worst. Your list is the worst.
1.
Top five. Well, it is clear that Dymlos likes to lose. That's why he chose top 5 ice cream flavors, because I am the connoisseur of ice cream, and I know way more about ice cream than he does. So it will be another week of just losing and sadness. I feel like he's almost, to take it into the sports realm, he is the Chicago Bears up top 5 picking. And
Oh, wow.
it must
Wow.
be getting old at this point. But
Therick
I
is
guess-
rolling over in his board game grave right now.
But I guess you like just losing, but that's okay.
There's no chance I'm losing this week. I may concede last week because I did say that paper airplane
wait. You
was not
may
origami.
concede last week where the guest host was openly questioning all your picks. You're
Oh
maybe
my-
gonna
not
concede
every
that?
pick. We had some of the same picks, Drac. Do you even listen to the show? Clearly not. Anyway, I'm going to totally school you this week. You have no chance. I already know that your list is just terrible. I could only imagine that your number one is probably going to be, I don't know, vanilla or something like that. How boring are you? That's how boring you are, Drac. Is your number one is vanilla. So let's see what you got. Give me your number 5, Drac.
Well, we start off this list with a little seasonal flavor. And when it's around Christmas time, I like a little peppermint chocolate chip because that's very fun and very light and very Christmassy. And so number 5, peppermint chocolate chip.
So only during Christmas time?
Only
So you're
during-
saying your top 5 ice creams of all time, your 5th one you only eat during Christmas time? That's
Let's get this straight. Really?
Please, I'd like to hear this.
Really? There's only 2 ice creams on my top 5 list. The rest are just filler. Like I only really consistently partake because when you get to a certain age, you can't just eat ice cream willy-nilly. You got to count the cost on those calories, right? So you can't just
That's right.
You can't just be like, well, I'm just whatever. I guess it's there's pistachio ice cream out. I guess I'm just gonna eat it. No big deal. No, it has to be something actually good and amazing for you to eat. So there's really only the top 2. So everything else is just kind of like situational. So this is situational. Peppermint chocolate chip. Christmas.
All your lists are like this, where you've got like 1 or 2 that you really like, water as a snack. And then the other 3 are just like, willy-nilly. So already you've told us that your list is terrible. I don't know how you won origami. I clearly lost, but I must have thrown the game. Like,
I mean, that's
it
what
was
you do
my
every
fault.
week. It's
No.
a self-inflicted
I win
wound
every
after
week,
self-inflicted wound.
This is our 13th show, and I have won 11 of the past 12, and I'm about to win this one too because my number 5 is the mix of all 3 of your most boring flavors that Drac is going to pick for his top 3. We got chocolate, we got vanilla, and we got strawberry, and you mix them all together in one beautiful Neapolitan ice cream. Oh, number 5 Neapolitan, even better in an ice cream sandwich. When you do get the chocolate on one end, vanilla in the middle, strawberry, you get all 3 of those beautiful flavors together all in one, rather than being boring and just eating chocolate or just eating vanilla, or if you like a little variety to your life, having just strawberry. But once you mix all 3 together, it becomes this beautiful number 5 Neapolitan ice cream.
Neapolitan ice cream is the York peppermint patties of Halloween candy. Because Neapolitan ice cream has that strawberry flavor in it, which just infects everything. And you don't even taste the chocolate or the vanilla after that. It's just strawberry. It's strawberry everything. And no matter how careful you are, and like just get your spoon just in the chocolate because you just want a little chocolate because that would be amazing, and chocolate would be an amazing flavor. You put your spoon right in the middle and you just scoop it out just a little bit, and you're super careful. It still tastes like strawberry, and it's awful. It's horrible. Just no on the Neapolitan ice cream. No.
Oh, it's one of my all-time favorites. I love mixing all three of those together.
You know, Dymlos, I've been with you all podcast. I really have. But this is where I draw the line, my friend.
Yes!
What?
This is where I draw the line.
Oh my goodness.
No. You do not cross the streams. You do not.
Hold on.
The
We
streams.
cross the streams all the time. We put chocolate syrup on the vanilla ice cream. We put strawberry chunks on the ice cream. We put bananas and banana splits. You're telling me that you can't mix 3 ice creams together? What do you think a banana split
that
is?
Totally different. Totally different.
Not at all.
No, because when you're
not in any
mixing
way.
actual flavors of ice cream together, 3 flavors that are different that should have their own ice cream, and you put them in one, it's awful. No crossing the streams.
No, I
Well
love
said,
crossing the
Militus.
streams. Now,
Let's get
anyway.
Militus's number 5.
Yeah, let's see what his number 5 is. I can't wait for this.
I know it's boring. You're going to pounce on me.
Oh,
Just
I am.
stay with me. There's nothing like homemade. I want to preface this. Homemade or in the rock salt churning vanilla ice cream. I know it's a boring flavor, but the taste is just, it's just something about homemade vanilla. I know it's a boring pick,
Yeah,
but
it
you
is.
can enhance it any way you want. You can add things to it. Fruit. You could add
like
chocolate.
strawberries or chocolate?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like it's its own Neapolitan
no,
flavor.
Actual strawberries, not that fake shit
mm.
they put in Neapolitan
Oh.
ice cream. Real strawberry chunks, blueberries, whipped cream. You can add to it, and it's got a good base. You can build off a good base, and that's what vanilla ice cream is. It's the base that you can build from. That's my argument. Now, dogpile on me because I know it's boring. I nearly didn't put it in because I know you guys are going to crucify me for it.
So you're
You can't go wrong.
poo-pooing me about my number 5 when your number 5 is 1/3 of my number 5. My mind is blown. I don't understand how you can hate Neapolitan and love vanilla ice cream as your number 5. It's 1/3 of the ice cream.
But
1/3
it's
is your.
contaminated.
Listen,
Other nasty stuff.
It's like taking your entire Thanksgiving dinner and with a giant spoon and just mixing it all together. It just doesn't.
That's
taste
how
like
you
it.
eat Thanksgiving.
No.
It's called beige food holiday for a reason. You literally put all the beige foods on a plate, put gravy on the whole thing, and then mix it together like a KFC chicken bowl.
Oh no, the KFC chicken bowls are nasty. No.
Oh my God, Draq, get off the show. You're off the show for forever. How dare you say that? Oh, we are about to have a throwdown.
But Militus, back to your pick, number 5. I think vanilla is solid. I call this the rock solid pick of
course,
ice cream.
of course.
Vanilla is amazing because, as you said, you can do anything you want with it. You except for mix it with other disgusting flavors of ice cream. You shouldn't.
Oh, like
do that.
chocolate and strawberry?
No, yeah, in a Neapolitan.
Even though you put
yes,
chocolate
gross.
syrup and strawberries on top of your vanilla?
Militus,
Get
am
the
I-
fuck
Enhancements.
out.
Enhancements. Those are
Mil-
enhancements. Those do
Militus,
not take away.
Am I wrong in saying, Militus, that the chocolate syrup, Hershey's chocolate syrup, is way different than the disgusting?
100%.
Yes,
It's
100%.
good.
Yes,
That's stuff in Neapolitan. By the way, hold
Yeah.
on. One point. So, Dymlos,
Yes.
Neapolitan. I feel like when they make it, they're like, "Hey, look, we got some extra cheap shit left
exactly.
over.
That's
Let's just
100%
throw
right.
that in and make this tricolor crap.
You know
we'll
what?
Pass
No
it
one's-
off as
No one's buying the strawberry ice cream. What are we gonna do? I know what
Oh,
we'll
no.
do. We'll mix it with chocolate and vanilla.
I hate you guys. I hate you guys so much.
I just can't. I can't ride with you on this one. I've been with you all podcast, but when you said that, I'm like, I'm off the Dymlos train. This is where Militus gets off. Sorry.
Train him if you don't like him.
Unbelievable.
Unless it's Neapolitan, in which case, get out. My number 4 is also vanilla, but I am very specific.
Here we go.
I
Here we
like
go.
French vanilla. That is my favorite type.
I knew this was going to be on your list. You're so boring. You're just the most boring person I've ever met.
I like to say rock solid. This is the rock solid pick of ice cream. This is your base. You know your base. You live your base. Everything else comes after vanilla, and that's how you build your ice cream. And so you have to embrace the base. And if you're like me and you don't necessarily, like, if you're somewhere and there's nothing else to pick, everybody's got vanilla, so it's super safe. Like, you don't have to try the Neapolitan or whatever.
Yeah, like in the middle of Neapolitan. It's right there in the middle.
No, it's not, because it tastes like strawberry, because the strawberry is mixed in with it. No, it doesn't matter. Even if you get it where it's not touching, it still tastes like strawberry. All right, what's your number 4?
My number 4? I'm glad you asked. I love Rocky Road, so won't you go and buy half a gallon, baby? I love Rocky Road, so have another triple scoop with me. Yeah! Number 4.
Can't go wrong with Rocky Road. Good.
Oh, so good.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So good. Marshmallow, chocolate, you cannot go wrong here. Those are 2 flavors that were meant to be together. A little crunch in there. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Rocky Road, number 4. Anything to say about that one, boys?
No, I think that's a good pick. Solid pick.
That's what I thought.
I think it's like
solid pick, but I have to be in the mood.
Not
I have to be in the mood for Rocky Road, though.
Yeah,
that's my only pushback.
Yeah.
My only pushback, Dymlos, is like, like I have to have a feeling like I want Rocky Road specific. Give me vanilla, I can eat it every day. Just give me that ice cream at any time.
I am on a podcast with 2 boring old fogies.
Yeah, well, you got the second part right for sure. We're definitely old.
I'm sure both of your number 1s are going to be like bubblegum ice cream.
Get out. Get out. Maybe prune ice cream.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Beets.
All right. Well, if your number 4 is not Rocky Road, Militus, please tell me what your number 4 is.
Okay. So, but as I say this, I have to say I got off the Dymlos train in the previous iteration of our discussion. Now I'm stepping off the Draq train. I'm firing shots at him
big time,
because
big time stepping off the Draq train.
Had the audacity to badmouth strawberry, which is one of the greatest ice cream flavors ever. And I want to specify, I'm not talking about the cheap strawberry they put in Neapolitan. Not that. Get out. I'm talking about the real chunks of actual strawberry being in the ice cream. Just the texture change, the nice fiber you feel for just a brief moment, like you're actually being healthy, which is an amazing psychological transformation because you're stuffing your face full of calorie after calorie. You're like, I just ate fruit. I'm healthy now.
There's definitely no sugar in fruit or ice cream.
For that reason, strawberry is my number 4.
So what you're telling me is that your number 5 and your number 4 are 2/3 of Neapolitan ice cream, and you don't like Neapolitan? You're nuts. You're nuts.
Now, without spoiling the rest of my list, there's a reason, my friend. And you're going to know by the time I get to the end of my list why that is the case.
I think Militus is once again overanalyzing this thing. Like, he got hung up on the healthiness of the strawberry, and he's like, I'm just going to... I'm just... No calories. Strawberry is the fruit. It's like one of my core servings for the day. I could include that in my meal prepping. Like, plus it might be one of the 3 flavors that they offer at the old folks home where he's staying at. So
it's on my checklist. I told my son, gaming laptop, strawberry ice cream, and a feeding tube. If those 3 things are present, send me away forever.
You're good to go.
Well, I do love strawberry ice cream too, so I will not. Other than the fact that you have 2/3 of Neapolitan on your list already, and we've only done 2.
Yeah, so one tainting flavor left, my friend. I use the word taint emphatically.
I can't wait for this. Well, speaking of taint, bubblegum number 1 Draq, please tell me what your number 3 is.
Chocolate ice cream.
Oh, look at that.
What a transition.
Not the ridiculous chocolate in Neapolitan ice cream that's gross. Again, I don't know how many times we have to say that, Militus. Like,
So 2/3 of Neapolitan is on the bottom 3 of your list, and you are poo-pooing on Neapolitan?
again, I
No,
don't do
no.
the mixing. Everything has its separate corner on a plate, and we don't mix things.
You've never had a banana split together.
I'm not a fan of the banana split now.
Oh my goodness.
But even if I was, it's totally different because those are separate items that come together, not we packaged stupid ice cream together and they're touching each other. It's totally different.
Yeah, it's about the contamination. I'm gonna go back to Dymlos. Draq obviously doesn't. He hasn't got the rest of his list, but the way he's talked to me thus far is he doesn't like strawberry. So for him, it's the tainting factor of strawberry.
The tainting.
For me, it's the tainting.
I am never going to your Thanksgiving dinner, Draq. How dare you?
You're missing out because my wife is a great cook.
I'm sure she mixes everything together because she's
No.
intelligent and smart and likes good things.
No way. My wife is a vegetarian and she does not want the chicken to
never
touch
mind.
anything else. So
No, yeah.
you are delusional if you think she's going to let anything touch. But, Mr. I let everything touch everything else, Dymlos, why don't you tell us your number 3?
Oh, my number 3 is so unbelievably good. Pistachio ice cream. I love the crunch of the pistachio. I love the fake pistachio flavor that they put in the ice cream. Is so good. Everything about pistachio ice cream is wonderful. The flavor, the look, the crunch, everything. Please dissect this, gentlemen. How could you hate pistachio ice cream?
Gross.
Of
First of
course.
all, get your nuts out of my ice cream. I have no interest whatsoever in any nuts being in any
you
ice
have
cream.
to have nuts in
No,
ice cream. It's
no
a
nuts.
must-have.
No, I don't
Oh.
need nuts in my ice cream. Get it out. I don't like it. I don't want it. Get it out. And I don't like pistachios to begin with. So
What?
yuck. It's totally
That's like
gross.
the best nut.
No.
Other
No,
than
it's not.
cashews,
No.
pistachio is number 2, best
No,
nut. Oh,
get it
next
out.
top 5 is best nuts. Top 5
I'm with,
best nuts.
I'm with Dymlos. Pistachio's good. My
Oh,
only
so
pushback
good.
is similar to what I said before. It's kind of one of those ice creams like Rocky Road that I have to be in the mood for. But I mean, other than that, it's a great ice cream. Love
For
it.
me, the only mood I need is I walk up to the Baskin Robbins 31 flavors and see pistachios there. I'm in the mood for pistachio. Let's go. That's
I
all
think
it takes for me.
Because you're far younger and healthier than,
No.
let's say, Draq and I, where we have to do a cost-benefit analysis as
Oh,
we
no.
approach the ice cream
I
stand.
still have to do that. But
And
I
anything
just
with
block it
nuts
out.
does not make the list.
Oh, you are so
no,
boring,
I
Drax.
disagree. Come on,
You,
Draq.
you're so ridiculous. All right, I can't stand Drax's list anymore. No, I cannot even fathom what 2 and 1 is going to be, even though I know that number 1's bubblegum. But Militus, please tell me what your number 3 is.
Number 3 is a winner. Oh, it's such a winner. So good. Butter pecan. The
nuts.
richness, the nuts, it's the perfect fall ice cream.
Oh,
Butter
for sure.
pecan is so good. Let's say from around late September all the way, even through winter, I could eat it. Just eat it up. It's good stuff. But I know Draq doesn't like nuts in his mouth. So Draq, tell me why you don't like.
technically
You're
he loves
taking a
nuts in his
nosedive
mouth.
here. You're like, it's the plane is going down. You need to eject.
From Drax's list of seasonal picks and
First of
boring
all,
vanilla and chocolate.
There's already
Okay,
butter
keep going,
in ice
Drax.
cream. There's already butter in ice cream. We don't need more butter. There's plenty of butter in ice cream. We should just stick
cream.
with the
It's not
butter that's
butter.
no, we should just it's fine. Just stick with the rate. You might as well just go with vanilla. It's a way better flavor.
Oh my goodness.
And get rid of the nuts. I think this is perfect. It's just called vanilla. You just get rid of the pecan and you move the cream to vanilla.
Oh,
Better.
No,
you
no.
disgust me, Drac. Speaking of disgust, please continue on with your number 2.
Number 2, now we're getting to the serious picks. Now we're getting to the picks where Drac may not even be able to say no, right? This is everything previous to this. I could be like, I want it, but I don't need it, right? But when we get to chocolate chip, that's where it starts to get real. And really, Dymlos mentioned it before, but really it's Baskin Robbins chocolate chip. That is the best chocolate chip ice cream. And it is amazing. I love it. And it's my number 2.
Well, it speaks to how boring you are, that's for sure. I'm looking at your 4 so far, and we've got a real theme going here. We've got chocolate chip, other chocolate chip, chocolate, and then vanilla.
I mean, I am nothing but themed. So, this is how it goes. I'm a simple man. I have simple tastes. I run down the same road and I do not deviate.
Well, I can't wait for number 1 bubblegum. But
that is not in the theme.
Chocolate chip's not a bad choice. But I will say it is a little bit on the boring side, but not a bad choice. I think you just go with it. If I'm going to commit to those calories, I'm going to get something a little more extravagant than chocolate chip.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Well, Dymlos, why don't you tell us what nut-filled ice cream you have for number 2? It should be fantastic.
Well, Draq, good guess, because it does have nuts in it. And like Militus's number 3, my number 2 is butter pecan. I also love butter pecan. This is something I could eat all the time. It is one of the... Whenever I'm in a grocery store and walking down the ice cream aisle, it's one of those flavors that will get me. Like you just kind of walk by and you glance and you see the Haagen-Dazs over there, butter pecan, and it's like, uh-oh, it looks like I'm buying this now. And it just happens. It magically pops. I don't even open the door. I don't even open the freezer door. It instantly transports from the freezer into my cart and it's there. So I have to make sure that I don't walk down the ice cream aisle because stuff like this will just magically happen and it'll go home with me. So yeah, butter pecan though, and you hit it right on. Autumn is the best season, and this is the best ice cream for this season. You couldn't do any better. Butter pecan. Love your pick, Militus. Hate all your picks, Draq.
Wait, I'm going to channel my inner Dymlos here. So you only eat it during the autumn season?
No, it's just the best. He was right that this is the best season and this is the best time to eat it, but I'll eat it year round.
Same.
I just have to look at it and it's going and it's coming home. So
I'll take it one step further than that, Dymlos. It never makes it into my freezer. Because I get home.
Let me get
and
that
it's
bite.
just sauce, it's just soft enough that I'm like, I can get a really good scoop out of this right now. So I hit one of them and I'm like, let's make it 2.
Yeah.
And
Hit
I
me, baby,
look up
one more
and
time.
I'm putting the container in the trash can. It never made it to the freezer. I ate the whole damn container before I got it to the freezer.
This is why you have to buy it in larger jugs than the Ben and Jerry's pint.
Yes.
You must buy it in a half gallon or larger because you will eat that whole pint. And then you'll be like, well, where'd my butter pecan go? Nope, I've got a half gallon. We're good to go. I've only eaten half of it in one sitting. We'll have the other half later.
Could not.
I thought maybe
more.
you were going to say that it doesn't even make it to the checkout counter, and I was like, dude, you're setting an empty ice cream thing on the checkout. That's impressive.
That's when you buy 2. If you get through the one in the store, which you're allowed to eat stuff in the store, that's not uncommon.
What?
But yeah, you can absolutely.
You can as long as you pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go open up a bag of chips next time in the store. Militus, how about your number 2?
My number 2 is a tried and true flavor. Man, you just get that, take a bite of it and you get that Oreo cookie hit along with the cream. And there's, of course, cookies and cream. So good. Now, I have to like Dymlos, I have to give a specific brand. And it's got to be Bluebell cookies and cream, ice cream. Can't hardly do any better. Only one better in my mind than that, but that's my number 2.
I do appreciate you for this choice because cookies and cream was the ice cream of my youth. That's what I always wanted. That's the Blizzard or the Shake or whatever that I always wanted when I went to Dairy Queen or whatever. When the McFlurry, it's cookies and cream McFlurry every time. All the other flavors fail in comparison. Even if you put Butterfingers or whatever flavor of the week it is for those things. But yeah, cookies and cream, can't go wrong. It just, I think why it didn't make my top 5 is I just ate it way too much as a kid. And so it's
out.
Yeah, a little bit. I'll still eat it. If it's the ice cream that's at the, if I'm at a guest's house and they're serving cookies and cream for dessert, I'm loving it. Loving every second of that.
Okay, so I have Dymlos on board. There are no nuts, so I'm very curious as to what one Draq. There's no nuts. There's There's
I mean, it's
Nope.
okay. It's doable. It's kind of like Rocky Road in my world. It's okay, but it's just a little much. Like it's just a little over the top. You got a lot of stuff.
Top.
You
It's
got
a
the
little
cookies
much.
and the cream. Like that's a lot for me. So I like the simple taste. So I think it's definitely top 10, but not top 5
For sure in the top 10 easily. But I appreciate you for it being your number 2, and that you have a specific flavor is also
Yeah.
chef's kiss. Yeah, it's or not flavor, specific brand. Chef's kiss. Yeah, very important. All right, we've come to what is going to drive me the most nuts.
I think that this pick is not what you think it is because it's definitely not bubblegum.
Are you sure it's not bubblegum?
I am 100% sure. And just for the record, for everyone listening, I put my list down first this week. So everybody else is like, that's how it is.
Oh, we're all just copying you?
Yeah.
We're copying off your answers? I don't think so, Draq.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I've not looked at your list. I know that your number 1 is bubblegum. So please list me number 1 list master.
I think it's Blue Raspberry Nerds.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Mint chocolate chip ice cream is the best ice cream that there is. I don't know why it is that way. I don't even there is really no other area in my life where I like mint. But this is it. Now there are some qualifications here that have to be met. First of all, my wife buys this really snooty mint chocolate chip ice cream that isn't green, it's white, and that is garbage. Like that is garbo. Like you have to get the green mint chocolate chip ice cream. Now there's a couple of different brands out there that are okay, but all the brands that have the actual green mint chocolate chip, those are the ones you want to go for. So mint chocolate chip number 1.
Okay. So let's just take a look at this top 5. Let's in its entirety. I want to just take a look back at what we're looking at here.
What you're looking at is solid gold, number 1, grade A picking.
So we've got chocolate chip, vanilla. How on God's green earth could you ever think that you would win a top 5 with this? This is absolutely the worst top 5 of all time. 3 of your flavors are the same damn thing. It's unbelievable. And then 2 of your flavors are in my number 5. Like there's no way that you could possibly think that you won this top 5.
This is hit the home run, not even looking at it, throwing the bat and walking around the bases.
It barely made it past the catcher, and you were tagged out before you could even start running with this list. Your only redeeming grace, and there is only one on this list, is mint chocolate chip, which is also my number 1. Mint chocolate chip is the greatest flavor of ice cream on the planet. Number 1, I love all things mint. I love York peppermint patties. We talked about in the Halloween candy episode. I do love York peppermint patties. I love mint chocolate chip ice cream. Those 2 flavors, the chocolate chip and the mint together, the crunch of the chocolate chip with the mint flavored ice cream is unbelievably good. It is the best ice cream flavor, bar none, without a doubt. So, Draq, your number 1 redeems you a little bit, but compared to the other 4 on your list, which are just stupid.
You know what else makes it just amazing? Just over the top amazing? Mint chocolate chip. You know what else makes it amazing?
What's that?
It doesn't have nuts in it.
You could put nuts in it. You could mix it with pistachio and it'd be
wonderful.
wonderful.
But it would be gross.
All right, Moses, before we get to your number 1, I did want to mention one honorable mention because I missed this.
You don't get to add extra picks.
I do. Yes, I do.
You think just because you edit the show, you get to just do whatever you want?
Yes, pretty much exactly right. No, we used to have honorable mentions in the past. We haven't had any recently for whatever reason. But this ice cream has to be brought up because it is long gone. It is 13 years gone since I've been able to taste this delicious, delicious ice cream. But Ben & Jerry's made an ice cream called Oatmeal Cookie Chunk. And it was the greatest ice cream. It was cinnamon ice cream with oatmeal cookies and fudge chunks inside it. It was this would have been my number one if it still was in existence, but it is no longer in existence. It's on the graveyard, the Ben & Jerry's graveyard. I wish they'd bring it back, but if it ever does, I will call you both up so you can taste this ice cream, because it is beyond anything on our top fives. All top fives combined, nothing comes close to how good this ice cream was, and I can't believe it's gone forever.
You had me an oatmeal cookie.
Yeah,
As
no.
soon as you said that with ice
Yeah.
cream, I'm like, yes.
Oh, it's so
Yes,
unbelievably good.
Yes.
But Militus, please
yeah.
tell us. Let's just channel right into your number one.
I have to ask you too before I give you my number one.
Okay.
Go back to Draq.
Yeah.
Give me a brand for your mint chocolate chip. Ideally, if you like the best brand you can.
No, what's
pick,
the
what would it
store with the 31 flavors?
be? Baskin and Robbins.
Yeah, Baskin Robbins. That's my
Okay.
favorite.
Dymlos.
I'll go with Blue Bunny.
All that you guys have said, you'll get no disagreements from me. I too chose mint chocolate chip. It is, like Dymo said and Draka said, it is. But I would take it. Like, you could tell me right now, this is how good mint chocolate chip is. Militus, you can only have one ice cream for the rest of your life, or you can have the bottom 2, 3, 4, 5 of your list, varying on days. I would still choose mint chocolate chip. It's
Right there
that
with you.
good. It's
Yep.
that good.
100%,
That I would
100%.
give up the variety of all the awesome flavors I just said. Mint chocolate chip is that good. And I'm going to agree with Drac here. There is nothing like seeing one of those big containers at Baskin and Robbins and having them scoop it off, and it's got a little texture to it. You know what I mean? Like the ice cream's not smooth. It's got like some texture on the outside to it. And it's just so good. Like Baskin and Robbins
God, I
mint
want some
chocolate
ice
chip,
cream right now
the
so
best
bad.
ever.
I need to go
Best
get some mint chocolate chip as soon as we're done with the stream. I'm just gonna go get some mint chocolate chip ice cream. It is.
We're all
it's the
gaining
best.
20 pounds after
Yeah.
this show.
Just by having the show, we've gained 20 pounds.
I'm so glad. This might be the first time that all
It
three
is
hosts
the
have agreed.
absolute first time that all three hosts present have agreed on anything.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
first time.
I'm glad that we're there. So now, Militus, I will say that if this oatmeal cookie chunk was still in production, that I would give up mint chocolate chip on that island
For that one.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
having
that-
never tasted it, I can't
Yeah.
make that claim.
Totally understand.
But if I did and I loved it as much as you, maybe I wouldn't.
Oh, so good. So unbelievably good. Anyway, let's quickly, because this top five has gone on forever. Let's quickly go over our. I'm gonna have so much to edit. Let's quickly run down our Patreon. So, Drac, if you could pop up our 4 Patreon members, please.
Biddaloo, biddaloo, biddaloo.
Bing. All right. Well, first up is our good friend Zip, who usually has some sort of troll list, but this week it's
This
not.
kind of
His-
looks like a troll list to
It's
me.
not.
I don't know.
There's-
It's pretty troll.
Number 5 is Trolley.
No way. No. Neapolitan, number 5. Beautiful. Well done, Zip. Banana Split, which is just Neapolitan again. Like, he listed Neapolitan and then number 4, Neapolitan.
Wait, is this an
with
actual banana split, or is this banana split flavored ice cream?
A banana split is chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry ice cream with a banana on each side. So I don't understand how a banana split flavor could exist.
Does that exist? That's my question.
I don't think it does. So sorry, Zip,
So,
but you
get out.
failed again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, we have listed Neapolitan, then Neapolitan with bananas.
So 2
Great.
fails.
No, so far so good. But this number 3, lemon bar. Oh
Get
my
out.
God. Who is eating lemon ice cream?
Get
That
out.
sounds absolutely gross.
Just get out. Just,
That Zip,
No. Yeah, I'm with you
unbelievable.
guys. No.
However, pistachio number 2, good
Yikes.
choice. Great
Gross.
choice, Zip. Love pistachio. And then specific flavor, Cherry Garcia. That's a Ben & Jerry's flavor. No one else has Cherry Garcia. So specifically Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia. Great choice there too.
Yikes. Triple yikes.
You're so gross,
That's
Drac.
the-
You're so boring with your chocolate chip, vanilla list. Get out of here. You don't even get an opinion on ice cream anymore, honestly, as far as I'm concerned. All right, let's move on to Screech. We've got peppermint stick, which is certainly different than peppermint chocolate chip.
How is it different? How exactly?
Because it's just the peppermint stick. There's no chocolate chips in it. It's just
it's no
peppermint.
chocolate. It's just peppermint.
It's like white and red swirly.
Yikes!
Ice cream.
Gross.
Number 4, New York Super Fudge Chunk. Why does it have to be New York Fudge Chunk? Why can't it be
New Jersey.
America Fudge Chunk?
What about Nebraska Super Fudge Chunk?
What about where's Nebraska's Super Fudge Chunk? I do think that this is a Ben & Jerry's flavor, though. I did not look it up. I probably should have looked it up when he posted it, but I didn't. I assume that this is a specific flavor of like Ben & Jerry's. But then number 3, ruined it.
Now we're rounding the corner. Now we're rounding the corner.
Oh, no. Vanilla, boring. Doesn't belong on any top 5. Cookies and cream, good. We already talked about that one. And,
I don't know about
there's
number
another,
2.
There's another mint chocolate chip, baby.
Yeah.
There's another one.
It
So
rallies.
that's 4 people of the 8 lists or the 7 lists that we're going to see. It's already the majority number 1. And then we go on to Llama, who has chocolate. Good.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the hell hard crust fudge is.
It sounds like chocolate in a different name.
I mean, yeah. So like Zip has listed the same flavor twice in a row. Then we got caramel. Okay, so is that just vanilla with caramel?
Vanilla with caramel? Ooh.
Or is it actual caramel ice cream? We don't know. We need specifics, Llama. Like, do you put the caramel on the vanilla, which is your number 2? So is that really just the one flavor all rolled in one? So really, you've only listed 3 flavors. But luckily enough, Llama, you lucky duck, you put mint chocolate chip as your number 1, which is the correct choice. So now we've got 5 of the 7 of us saying that mint chocolate chip is the number 1 best ice cream flavor of all time, which it is.
Pretty much takes the day. Pretty much. The winner today is mint chocolate chip.
Put it in the comments, folks. If you love mint chocolate chip, shout it out. Shout it from a mountaintop, because this is basically the Rewind mint chocolate chip edition. So love it. And then last but not least, our newest Patreon member, Archbishops, who has started with cookies and cream. Good start. But then boring vanilla. Okay, great. Honestly, I eat vanilla ice cream too. I'm not going to say I don't. I mean, it's in the middle of my Neapolitan.
So you're saying, you're kind of coming to my side. I see.
Well, it's not.
Okay.
It doesn't belong.
It took till the end, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I accept you as part of, my culture.
I just don't want any part of that. I don't want any part of your chocolate chip, vanilla list. Get out, Draq. You're out. All right, Archbishops, your time to shine. Cookies and cream, great. Vanilla, okay. Rocky Road, great choice. But then we've got coffee. What are we talking here? Listen, I'll go to Arby's and drink a Jamocha shake anytime. I'm absolutely fine with coffee flavored ice cream. But like, what is this? Is it like black coffee? Did you actually mean mocha? Like, is that what you're talking about? Like,
that's a good point. Have you ever had coffee flavored
I've never had
ice
coffee
cream?
Ice cream.
I've never seen that.
So just you failed. You failed the homework. You had one job. It's your first list here on air live, and you failed. So and then lastly, black cherry.
You also failed with black cherry.
I like black cherries, but it definitely doesn't belong on any top 5, especially not number 1. So Archbishops, you started kind of strong, and then you failed.
You tailed off.
Yeah. Well,
the only thing that could have pulled you out was a mint chocolate chip.
A mint chocolate chip, yeah. If you would have said, even if it was black cherry mint chocolate chip, I would have at least given you half credit for it.
No.
Half credit is where half credit is due, but man, I should have started with like that, because now we have to end the show on this downer that is black cherry ice cream. Womp womp. Thanks, Archbishops, for ruining the show.
Now let's just remind the listeners that mint chocolate chip is the most amazing ice cream ever, and is the official ice cream of the Rewind.
Absolutely.
Before you leave, we've one final word. Before you've forgotten all that you've heard, there is a moment evergreen. Stay here a while and listen to me.
All right, Dymlos, we have now come to that very sad moment where we must say goodbye to Militus.
No, Militus, don't leave us.
Man, I just got here.
It seems like
Kicking me off the show already.
well, it's a one and done situation. No one else gets to come back unless your name's Redbeard Flynn. That's right.
And if
Don't
you're
forget to
homeless
vote.
on the streets of Avelia, you're kind of like trash. So people just kind of throw you to the side. I
I can't believe you're still bitter about that here 2 hours later.
Oh no, actually, I want to thank you guys for having me. It's been so much fun. It's always fun to engage with people in the Pantheon community, and I am so hyped for early access. I know a lot of us are worried about some of that stuff, but I beg everyone in the community, welcome a lot of these new people that are coming in to try the game. Get in there, play, help, be understanding, kind, patient, empathetic. Man, let's keep making our community great. So again, thanks you for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun to cut up with you guys, and you have a great show. Love listening to it every week. So keep up the great work.
We appreciate you, number one fan, and also only fan.
I just realized this. He's the Basgrim of the Rewind.
Why? Because he made a board game?
No,
I don't understand.
because he's the number one fan.
Oh yeah! Yay! Thanks, buddy.
It feels good to be number one at something in my life. So
There you
thanks.
go. Hey,
You'll always have the rewind.